This actually happened to my eldest son, who's in grade 8. He was in the schoolyard playing. A grade 1 girl walked up to him, slapped him across the head, and said, "You are not allowed to hit girls. You cannot hit me back." Mm-hmm. I'd like to...
Well, at least she was being honest. You know, and an adult woman who would do that would probably find a way to turn herself into the victim.
Women deserve a safe space on campus. Queer people deserve a safe space on campus. Trans people deserve a safe space on campus.
Groups exist because of that, right?
You mean enough? Why do men need a safe space on campus?
Why do men need a safe space? Because the very idea of an event where men are talking about men's issues in a non-sanctioned manner, then you have what happened at the Warren Farrell protest. I don't know if you watched the footage of that, right? But if I were one of the men who was trying to attend an event talking about male suicide and all kinds of other stuff, and I had some woman who knows she can get away with it up in my face calling me every name in the book, screaming at me, I don't think I'd feel very safe, right? Okay? And frankly, men are the majority of victims of public sphere violence.
I'm not saying that any of those statistics or male suicide, any of that stuff exists, because it does. Men are the victims of more workplace violence, workplace like suicides, low enrollment rates. That said, that's not systematic oppression in society.
Really? I think that when a 6-year-old girl can hit another child and get away with it and never ever have to suffer retaliation because he's a boy, okay? I think that's systematic.
How?
Because if the system intervenes and punishes the boy for hitting back, right? It's systematic.
You just yelled out that all of us were racist. And then you asked a question. And the question was? Why are there only white people on your panel? There you go. It sounded better when you were yelling it with a chorus of backdrops. Let me explain. Okay, can I answer your question? Do you want an answer? Would you like an answer? Here's what's... No, you don't know the answer, sweetheart. Let me answer it for you. Listen, you have... Right here on this panel, you have a gay British Trump supporter, okay? You have a lifelong registered Democrat, open feminist, who's not a third-wave feminist, and you have a French-Canadian Christian conservative. So you may ask, why is there only white people? Because the only diversity you don't care about is that of intellectual diversity.
Right!
Please be seated.
One second.
Please be seated.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the applause.
I think that if we want young people to speak out and to feel comfortable expressing themselves, then what we need to do is make the internet a place where they can do so. That means bringing in sensible laws and training the police to deal with these kind of things. With this, we need straightforward training on when to act and when not to act, to make sure that the worst things, the rape and the death threats, the horrific harassment and abuse is dealt with. And I think that when we see a few high-profile individuals, perhaps including some in this studio, locked up, it'll be time for other people to back off.
Okay,
and I very much look forward to that day.
People can be made to feel victimised and very nervous and scared of the internet, whether that be men or women. But actually, I want to put, and it's both kind of very pathetic view of how people deal with insults and words, because really most people, especially on Twitter,
I'm talking about
when they receive this kind of crap,
rape and death.
Rape and death threats are bad, but when they receive this kind of rubbish on Twitter, they block or they ignore. And I really want to pick up on this idea that women,
please, Kate, let us.
It's very telling. That's kind of, this is what happens. Middle-class women decide that they want to take on the plight of women, and that women are victimised. Women can't handle the internet. It's absolutely ridiculous and disgusting and sexist and patronising to say that women can't handle the internet. The internet should never be a safe space. The internet women should be able to experience everything about public life. We fought for that throughout history, and here's somebody who wants to shut us away from it.
White family worth, in terms of financial worth, is 69 times more than that of black families. Given this disparity, how can you argue that racism is not a driving factor in income inequality?
because it has nothing to do with race and everything to do with culture. And when you have a culture that doesn't, you know what? Explain to me. You explain to me why black kids aren't graduating high school. Explain that one to me. Explain to me why black kids are shooting each other in rates significantly higher than whites are shooting each other. Explain to me why 13% of the population is responsible for 50% of the murder. Explain to me why the number of black kids in prison, not for innocent reasons, not for walking down the street and getting pulled into a prison, is so high. Explain, if it has nothing to do with culture, explain to me why the single motherhood rate in the black community jumped from 20% to 70% in the same course of time that the civil rights movement has made such tremendous strides. Is America more racist now than it was in 1960? And if it is, please explain to me how that happened.
Anybody can jump in. It's an open mic there.
What do you want?
We gotta stop listening to this rhetoric
want?
That's in the media.
Michelle, what do you people want?
What do I want?
Michelle,
When you say you people, what do you mean?
the complaining black people blaming others for the failure of their parents and their lives.
What complaint
blaming
have we made?
others for whatever it is you complain about. What is it exactly do you want from white people?
First of all, just let me take a breath. And
I'm trying to find out what you want.
What's your nationality?
American.
Are you white?
I'm black American.
Oh, okay.
What do you want?
You Caucasian.
Oh, you do? And why do you think that? Why do you think
that? Because you seem to separate yourself from us, should I say?
In
put
what
us on
way?
the other side
In what
of the
way?
fence. In the ways that you specified thus far.
Meaning what? Tell me. Give me an example and tell me what you mean.
How you mean? What do you people want from white people? Meaning that I'm not with you.
Oh, okay, I got
just y'all by yourself,
right? Let me explain why I do that. What you don't know is that there are two realities in life.
Mm-hmm.
One is that of good and one is that of evil. And now that I've been able to overcome evil, I don't identify with angry, evil black people. I identify with other blacks and others who are on the side of good. And so that's why I say you people, because I have to divide myself or separate myself from evil and go along with good. So that's why I do that.
What is it that makes us evil?
I'm sorry, your anger, your blaming others for your problems, your lack of love and respect for yourself and others.